looking forward. Now, I've previously talked about my annual goals as well. So a little bit of a higher baseline, higher alignment to a greater sort of status around it. Again, I've talked about it prior. I'm going to try and articulate it today, talk a little bit more around it and what my new annual goals look like. Now, I schedule my goals between not annual year to year by the calendar, nor by financial. I actually do it from my birthday. So it just so happened that I did this, I believe, when I was 27 years old is when I began really tracking it minutely to all the little details. That's when it really, really began. And now into the 32-year-old annual goals is what I've been putting together and what I'm going to be talking about now. I won't go back and review the 31-year-old goals. Why? I've done this across the monthly goals, and if you really, really are keen to inspect on that, you can go through the previous monthly goals in the Mere Mortals podcast. But I want to talk about the why. I've got these other goals now that have come up for the next year, how I'm trying to attack them, I guess. So it gives you a bit of an insight into us, maybe at least one of the individuals in the Mere Mortals. And honestly, it helps me articulate it to myself. And as I'm going to be talking about it, maybe I'll come across some updates or edits that I need to do. And awesome. If I do that, really valuable for myself. So let's kick into it. Now, first and foremost, if you don't know, I split my goals into 3 big chunky goals, right? You got your mind, the body, and the soul. There's loads of different ways you can split it. Karen splits it up into 8 different sort of sections. You can go into different categories. At least for me, it's a big grouping. A lot of people do it. It's MISI, mutually exclusive, cumulatively exhaustive, but borrowing a terminology there from some of the consulting background as well. But in any case, you can kind of bundle up most things within that, at least for me: body, mind, soul. Now, I've got this aspirational, what I call eminent human being levels between a level 0 when I first began doing this to a level 5. Right now, I'm in level, I can actually tell you specifically if I bring it up that I've got in front of me. Right now, under my terminology, I'm on a level 2 of the mind, level 2 of the body, and level 2 in the soul. Wonderful. I'm looking to progress towards level 3. And I'd have to get into here about what they mean, specific definitions to myself. All you need to know is it allows me to progress to, hey, I'm on what I deem to be level 2. What does level 3 look like for me? And there's 5 levels in each of those sections. Now, level 5, just a little touch on that, isn't something I could probably achieve in 2 years, 5 years. It might be something I never achieve. So again, it's aspirational. Back into the annual goals. So I talked about that there's a 3 high level: body, mind, and soul. And so then I break down individual goals that map towards those. I don't necessarily have to have, a certain amount, nor is it a one-to-one mapping. It just depends when I think about it. And for me, when I did these annual goals, like I have done in previous years, sometimes I've stepped away and spent 2 hours really thinking about what I want to challenge myself with, what I want to aspire towards, what I want to grow, what I need to retrospect with. Other times it's something interesting. Other times it's something just to keep it fun and to pull me away from just sometimes a type A mindset of work, do. And so it reflects in the ways that I put these together. Now, to the meaty stuff, the actual goals. I have in total 13 goals in total for my 32-year-old annual goals. I'm just calling them annual goals from now on. I'm going to go straight through them. Let's go through it. There's 3 in the body. There is 6 in the mind, and then the rest are going to be in the soul. So body, number 1, I want to bulletproof my body, get stronger, stay unbreakable, train smart, live hard. And look, I've got more description for each one of these, but I'd rather just talk about it directly to you, mere mortalites. Bulletproofing my body, all this means is for the last few years, really for me, as from a body perspective, I've been trying to get better, improve, grow, and that has been run more, lift more, Olympic lifting, do more athleticism, become better at gymnastics, all these different things. And all of it was fun, all of it was great. I accomplished plenty of things and a lot of notable items, at least for me personally, right? Wonderful. But one of the aspects of growing older, as many people would know, and those who don't know, well, get ready to find out, is that you need to make sure that your body's going to be capable to withstand whatever else you bring at it for many, many years to come. For me, there's always going to be certain things, either through injuries, which for me, it's my hamstrings and my lower back, that will always spike some sort of pain, some sort of discomfort. when I'm lifting in particular ways, or just through everyday life. So one of the focuses for me was, I'm going to bulletproof my body over the next year. Just focus on the really key specific things, at least for me personally, that might impair me for lifting, running, training for many, many years to come. Specifically, I've listed that down. It's all around incorporating mobility drills, stability workouts, functional movements into my routine, targeting the erector spinae, the quadratus lumborum, all the rotator cuff muscles, rear deltoids, glutes, hip flexors, piriformis, VMO, hamstrings, transfer abdominis, and the obliques. So again, did my own sort of research on what sort of training that looks like in applicability, just as a quick sort of insight. That means I've developed a bit of a warm-up that I do at least for try to get as many of these things and develop my training over the next year at the very least to focus and optimize for that, as opposed to say optimizing for, I'm going to get the biggest deadlift that I can or the fastest run that I can. So that's what that first goal is. Second one, I'm going to master my quality of sleep. So resting well, recovering strong, sleeping smart, living better. Look, this goal is more, hopefully by default, will just improve in that my daughter's starting to sleep better, and then ergo, I'm going to be sleeping better. So in connection with that just kind of naturally happening, I'm also going to be and putting it as a goal to try and provide more of a focus for myself in, am I doing the right things in my sleep routine, in my sleeping habits? Am I, sitting on my phone for too long? Am I staring at light too long just before I go to sleep? All of the various things, right? I could talk about it here for quite a while, but the reality is there's probably just habits, things that I can do to improve my sleep. It has been terrible for a really long time. For, this current time, it's we're at the start of August, and I can tell you right now, because I keep some of these details pretty on track, my 3 months of sleeping average right now is 6.44 hours at the moment on average. The 3 months deep sleep average is basically half an hour is my deep sleep average, and 1.24 is my REM sleeping average. How good are those numbers? Look, it's a ballpark, right? Ballpark. But at the very least, just to inform you, sleep hasn't been that great. And so I want to improve it. Hence the annual goal. The third one, I'm going to embrace the long run. I'm going to endure, enjoy, excel, run far, live free, goddammit. And this doesn't mean go and do a race or go and do a certain distance for the joy that comes in achieving a particular target by time frame, but embracing the long run for some of the more fun aspects. And what that looks like is trying to obviously do some road running, but maybe doing some non-road running, going off trail, going to locations where I want to run around. For instance, for the last couple of weeks, I've been running around Brisbane City in slightly different areas, and that's been really fun to run, especially embracing a longer run, but just kind of admiring, looking around the place as opposed to just being focused on, what am I doing? 5 minutes 30, 5 minutes 15. I got to beat this time. No, it's, I'm going to run from here to that bridge and back, and I'm going to just see and embrace the long run. So in a nutshell, that's what that is. And that wraps up the body goals for my side. Now to talk through the mind goals. 1, being aware of my accounts, and I'm talking here more financially, understanding your numbers, mastering your money, financial clarity, business stability. Easy. I want to just pay attention, stay informed. There's lots of varying things that I participate in my day-to-day. And so for that reason, I just need to be very accountable with my accounts. Leave it at that. Pretty self-explanatory. Next one. I want to start the process, and this is a cool one. Start the process of making people work optional. I want to grow the business, secure our future, work optional, financially unstoppable. Do you like that? Look, and I like this particular phrasing. I thought about this for a while. Starting to make people work optional. In particular, for me, this is starting at the core focus of my family, right? It's with my partner, with the work optional potential. And so for me, the end goal is, start that process. Doesn't necessarily mean that I will achieve it, right? But you've got to begin somewhere and start wondering, what are the things you have to do? What do you have to put at play to allow that to happen? Are there other ventures that I need to look at? Is there other potential opportunities that I need to or not do, right? Sometimes there's as much what you say yes and do than to the things you have to say no to. So that particular goal is to help me put together time and thoughts and focus into achieving that. The next one is easy one, expanding the mere mortal brand. Expand the reach, amplify the voice, mere mortals, limitless growth. look, it's just about increasing our audience engagement, growth, where we attack it from. You would have seen over the last couple of months just the type of content that we produce in the varying amounts, the type of interviews where we're connecting. Again, it's just putting myself down to another year of trying to grow, to help out people, to connect with the mere mortal lights. What are other ways that we can connect? What are other ways that we can build this into something that gets a lot of value for people? And in return, we find a lot of value. And there's lots of ways you can dice up that value, right? Time, talent, treasure, all the things that we talk about from a value for value perspective. And it's continuing that along to try and help out a bunch of people and put out content that's useful for us and useful for others. The other one for the mind is I want to maximize AI usage. So leveraging intelligence, maximizing impact, embracing AI, and elevating everything. This is really self-explanatory. It's already happening in my day-to-day, but I want to increase it. I want to jack it up to 11. If I'm going to focus on something, it's leveraging the utilization of AI in a lot of other things that I do. If I don't apply it, basically over the next year, I'm going to become inefficient at the end of it. That's point blank. If I'm not using all this stuff, I'm going to be inefficient and I won't be able to do other things, high value items that I want to be achieving. So embrace it, maximize its usage. 8, I want to find fun in sim racing. And yeah, look, just racing hard, playing harder. Just one of those things. And again, at the onset of this conversation, I sort of mentioned, hey, sometimes I've got to introduce things that are fun. That's one of them. I've always enjoyed racing in some extent. I don't have the time to go out to a racing track and go and race around in a car. But for me, I can find myself a sim sort of setup, which I have at the moment at home. I'm able to find one time a week, usually, to be able to participate. And that's it. That's, something a little bit different. It's not something I, share with a lot of my mates, nor is it super, it's not unique just to me, but also I don't share it with a lot of people around me that do this. And it's my sort of get away from the mind that will tell me to, hey, I need to just keep doing more for that optimization. That's another goal to help me pull back and go, hey, there's just other fun stuff you can do because you can. And for me, I find fun in that, so do it more. Number 9, I want to expand my understanding with a new language. Understand, learn, expand. Moving into Italian. Salve, hello, they're in Italian, but yeah, I'm moving on from the French that I was learning into Italian. The one big obvious reason, going to be heading over to Italy for quite a long time next year for an extended holiday. That will be great fun, and I'll just want to pick up the language when I get over there. Plus, I think I've done 760 odd days of French in a row, so I wanted to shift over to something new. And Italian is a pretty straightforward one to pick up in any case with my background in knowing Spanish. Moving into the soul now. So I've got 4 here in the soul. 1. And this connects up to the Italian piece. I want to plan the perfect getaway wedding. Intimate, beautiful, unforgettable. Easy. We're getting married next year. It's going to be in I'm not going to disclose it, somewhere in Europe. It's going to be just really close people to us that are going to be going over there. Very, very finite amount of people and just enjoying that. There obviously comes a lot of planning with wedding. Certainly doing in the different countries a little bit different. Some of the logistics are one, simple, others hard. So, photographer, food, accommodation, where you go. And obviously we're going to be there with will be 2-year-old child as well. So lots of planning. And so I'm putting a big dedication to, it's an annual goal. It's a big important piece. And there's got to be things I'm going to do on a monthly basis to make sure that it's a success. Because hopefully we're only doing it once. The next one down, and this one took a while. I rewrote this one. I had something down, then I rewrote it, and it kind of came out more like this. So, to give some context, my original one was trying to talk or interact basically with high-level people and do so without being nervous or anxious, because I could. That was probably the direct result of what I was seeing. Sometimes I go and have conversations with a CEO or someone like Tim Ferriss, and I can recall when I was talking to Tim on a Discord chat, I was like, I'm a bit nervous, I'm a bit anxious of talking to this person, unlike what I would be with a teammate or my partner or my family, right? And that's because you know people and they know you, and obviously this other person, you've got set them at this super high expectation, and they've got you as no expectation, but you, for whatever reason, I don't know, equate yourself as needing to be at a particular level. In any case, as you're hearing me talk, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But for me, in any case, I rewrote it as self-worth over self-esteem. This was another aspect from John DeMartini, I believe it is. Yeah. And he put up a big post about this, and it kind of struck me as like, actually, the underlying view of this all is I have great self-esteem when I need it to have, but self-esteem can only take you so far, and it is also a variable. However, something like self-worth, which is just the understanding of you exactly as it is, then doesn't get impacted from externalities like the individuals that you talk to. So I think I come from a place of much more self-esteem than I do self-worth. Not to say the one's better than the other, but, having both is really great, I guess I would say. But at least specifically, I'm saying self-worth more than self-esteem in terms of my optimization, what I'm moving towards and what's going to help me most. So that's that particular goal. And it's, again, reflecting, improving, putting myself into more opportunities to be able to do that. The last two here, one, achieving some mental anti-fragility. I have this a lot. This comes easily in some aspects of my life, physical nature. I'm pretty up for doing pretty much whatever. If you follow me at all on my personal side of things and my socials, I don't even know how long I've been posting in the mornings that I'm up at about 5 a.m. and I train and I run and I do all the various things. And, from a mental anti-fragility, fantastic. In other areas, I guess it'd be more so the ones that come up unexpectedly, the ones that I don't place myself into. There's more fragility of the mind. And so this is just trying to embrace those challenges, right? It's to practice, for want of a better word, the stoic way of handling something that comes to me or the obstacle. I think there's a lot of improvements that can be done on there. So at least for the annual goal, I want to focus on it. And lastly, I want to master, big word, relationship building. So connecting deeply, bond strongly, build relationships that last. This was a bit of a harder one to pinpoint exactly how I'm going to be going about it, but it's all about active listening, being interested, consistency, empathetic, self-aware, and really importantly, because I've learned over the last few years, it's building and mastering the bonds and the relationship with the people that I care about connecting, right? We only have a certain amount of time that you have in this world. I cannot master my relationships with absolutely everyone. So it also means connecting with those that I do have the time. And unfortunately or fortunately, letting those others go because, for me, there's more effectiveness, there's more joy, there's a betterment to fewer but better, deeper relationships than it is to have plenty of really shallow relationships. That's the reality of it. So those are the 13 annual goals that I've got coming up for my 32 years around the world. I'm excited. I'm excited for a lot of these. I'm excited to learn Italian. I'm obviously excited to do the wedding and the big travel that's going to come up at the end of the year, at the end of these annual goals, basically. Lots of good stuff, hopefully coming out from the podcast perspective. And I'm weirdly really, really excited to focus in on my deficiencies when it comes into fitness, lower back, hips, piriformis, all these little things that have always given me niggles. I'm like, I want to get that just unbreakable, unbreakable is what I want to really feel like by the end of it all. So I hope you have enjoyed. If you've got any questions around maybe how goal settings is structured, once again, by the way that we do it, send us a message. If there's any other ways that we can help out, let us know. But for now, be immortalized. I hope you have enjoyed that soliloquy around my annual goals. Take care wherever you are in the world. One out.